Today we are going to discuss who deserves the next title shot in UFC's welterweight division. We have two strong contenders, Colby and Belal. Colby has been out for a while, whereas Belal has been active and has the longest winning streak in the welterweight division. I will show you many different facts about each fighter, their records, their past 10 fights, how active have they been. So we will discuss all that and you can decide for yourself who deserves the title shot next. So let's get started. Now let's talk about Colby's last 10 fights. Colby is one of the very best in the welterweight division. And many people say if it wasn't for Kamaru Usman's dominance, Colby would be the champion because there isn't anyone else who can match his pace and his skill set. I mean, the wrestling background that he has, combine that with the striking that he has acquired, makes him a dangerous fighter. So he is one of the best at welterweight. Um, and if you look back at Colby's record, he started fighting world champions after beating Damian Maia. RDA was the first world champion that he fought at 155 pounds. He was the champ, and he was very comfortable and successful in welterweight as well. So he beat RDA, and then after that, he fought Robbie. Robbie, as you know, was the king of the welterweight division, and Colby beat him really decisively. Uh, I think it was one of his best performances. I think he set a record of most significant strikes landed in that fight, which is, of course, hard to do against someone like Robbie because, I mean, you make one wrong step and he can knock you out. So, Robbie's that good. And what I really enjoyed in that fight was the mix of wrestling with striking. It was truly masterful when Robbie was thinking Colby's gonna strike, he was shooting for a takedown, and when he was defending the takedown, he was going with the strike. So it was just, I mean, the way he confused Robbie and the way he stopped his rhythm, broke his rhythm, was truly masterful. So that's why I think, I mean, he's one of the best in the world, and after beating Robbie like that, he finally got what he wanted. He faced the Nigerian Nightmare, and unfortunately, that fight didn't go his way. Um, and that was he learned a lot about himself in that fight, and they are of course two of the best fighters in the welterweight division. So it was a close fight, and he hurt Kamaru in that fight too in many different occasions, and it was an amazing fight. And anytime these two guys fight, it will be a fan favorite because I mean they're just that awesome athletes. Like right there, you can see he caught Kamaru a couple of times. The pace was insane in that fight, and then after that fight, he beat Woodley, and Woodley was kind of on his way out at the time. It was one of his last few fights, and then after Woodley, he beat George last year. So George is also like the end of his career, right? So, those were the two wins that he has. The last two wins Colby has. So, and looking at the last 10 fights, one more thing I wanted to point out was that Colby was really active initially. So if you go back to 2016, he fought twice that year. He fought twice in 2017, then he fought once in 2018, then twice in 2019, and then after that, he has been fighting once every year. So he, of course, has a great resume. He's as good as they come. I mean, he's the complete package. But this video is about who deserves the next title shot. I think he has not been very active in the last 2 years, but he definitely makes a case of being next for the title shot. Now let's discuss Bilal's last 10 fights. Now let's have a look at Bilal's last 10 fights, and before I say anything or talk about anything, I want to recognize Bilal's 9 fight winning streak. 9 fight winning streak, I have to say it again, 9 fights, winning 9 straight fights is so incredibly hard in this talent stack division. It's unreal. You have to be, even if you're the best in the world, I mean, you can, if you make a mistake in these fights, I mean, you can get knocked out, like what happened to Kamaru, right? I mean, 9 fight winning streak is an achievement in itself, and of course, he should get a title shot just based on that. Now, looking at his record, he started to fight top level competition after beating Lima. When he beat Diego Lima, uh, Leon was the next fight after it, and Leon, of course, as you know, he's the champion at the moment, and he is a wonderful fighter. I mean, he's a complete package, and what he did to Kamaru in in their second fight was just it was a miracle, right? I mean, he was losing that fight, and he still didn't give up and got the job done at the end. So Leon, of course, is the very best. But unfortunately, that fight with Belal ended in a no contest because of an eye poke. So they have some unfinished business, and I hope they run it back sometime in the future. So after Leon's fight, he went on a tear and won the next 5 fights against top welterweights of the time. He beat Damian Maia decisively. He also beat Wonderboy right after that, and Wonderboy's fight was uh, quite one-sided. He nullified Wonderboy's game plan completely, and Wonderboy never could really gain momentum in that fight. And then next one was Luke. His win over Luke was special because he got now knocked out by Luke when they fought the first time. So he had a lot to get over. There are like mental hurdles that you have to fight through. So beating Luke was that much more special for him. And then of course Sean Brady was one of the best rising prospects of the time, and uh, no one really wanted to fight him, but Bilal put his record and his winning streak on the line to fight that guy and won brilliantly. That was a beautiful finish, um, and his last victory was a week ago against, I would say, like one of the very best at welterweight, like Gilbert. Gilbert is an animal. I mean, and you can't take that guy lightly. I mean, he has beaten like the best of the best, and only lost to the champ and other like top competitors. I mean, Gilbert, you can't take that guy lightly. He took even Hamzat in deep waters, and so this that fight for Bilal was on short notice. It was after the month of Ramadan, and he only had 3 weeks to train for the fight. But he definitely gave out a wonderful performance, and shocked everyone, including myself, because Gilbert. I mean, I can't take anything away from him. Gilbert is an animal, and he never gives up. So that was, of course, a wonderful performance by Bilal. Now, looking at the last 10 fights, you can see Bilal has been very active in the last couple of years. If you go back to 2019, he fought 3 times that year. Then he fought once in 2020, and then he fought 4 times in 2021. Like fighting 4 times in 1 year is just insane. I mean, it's like one fight after the next. I mean, not taking any breaks, no vacation, nothing whatsoever. So as soon as you win a fight, you're right back in the gym the next day and you train. You start another camp basically, right? So fighting 4 times in 1 year is just insane. Then he fought twice in 2022, and he already fought once this year, and he is ready to fight again. So just based on activity and even performance, I would say I think Bilal should get the next title shot, but that's just what I think. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Who deserves the next title shot? And thanks so much for watching.